All right, hey, good morning. This is Craig Double. I'm in the physics course 115, section Oscar Lima 010, Thomas Edison State University. I'm going to show you my Lab 5 exercise or experiment setup, and this is for centripetal acceleration. And the goals of this lab is we're going to calculate the angular velocity of a spinning object using varying, hanging, and rotational masses and varying radii. To calculate the theoretical centripetal force, so that's another goal, and we're going to calculate the experimental centripetal force. And just to give you an idea what we're dealing with here, it's we're kind of looking at a good example would be like the Earth and the Moon's relationship. And we know that the Earth and the Moon exert gravitational forces on each other, and the Moon undergoes centripetal acceleration towards the center of the Earth. That's why the Moon rotates around the Earth. So in this experiment, we're gonna the forces we're gonna deal with, we're gonna spin a stopper at a constant speed, and the two forces are gonna balance each other out, and it would be the weight of the mass pulling down on the string at the bottom, and it's balanced by the centrifugal force, and that would be mass times speed squared divided by radius. That's the other force that's going to balance each other out as we spin this rubber stopper. So let's get to let's go a little bit. Let's go backtrack a little bit here. Let me show you what we're going to set up here with first. Okay, so I'm going to use safety glasses for this. Goggles would be better, but this is what I have is safety glasses. That way when I'm spinning around, I don't hit myself in the eye with the rubber stopper. I also have this. It's supposed to be a glass tube, but I think it's plastic. But either way, it comes in the lab kit. This is the tube that you're going to get. It actually comes in a bag with all this stuff that you're pretty much going to need. The bag also includes a bunch of washers. These are going to be your weights on the bottom, the acting force, one of the acting forces. And then you have I think it's 4 meters of string or string that comes with your kit. You're going to need that string there. Here's the rubber stopper. You'll tie it on the other end of the string, so that's your other force acting in this experiment. Got my stopwatch. You can use your wristwatch or your phone. I'm sure that would be adequate. And then I also have my scale so I can measure the weight that I'm putting on there or measure the weight of the mass of the washers. All right, so that's pretty much where we're going to start. I'm going to put the video on pause, and then I'm going to show you my setup here in a second. Okay, so I did find out that I'm going to need the 4 meters of string, and it comes in a little bag like this. The string that came on this piece of cardboard here is definitely not long enough. It's only 100 centimeters long. So you're going to want to use the 4 meter string. So pay attention to what the instructions say in your apparatus kit. So I'm going to put this string back on the cardboard. And the other thing I included in here is my calculator. You're going to definitely need that so you can do the math and filling table 1 out. So table 1 has you fill the number of washers, the mass total of washers, the mass of each washer, and the mass of the rubber stopper. It's pretty straightforward. You use your scale, and when I put all the washers, I have 20 washers. I put them on the scale. I came out with 95.6 grams for my kit. It might be a little bit different for yours. And then I divided 95.6 by 20, and I came out with 4.78 grams a piece. So each washer, its average weight or correction mass is 4.78. And then I went ahead because I know I might be using these clips. So I went ahead and measured the mass of these clips too, and each one weighs 0.6 grams. And then my rubber stopper, I ended up coming up with 1.3 grams. All right, so as I go on, I found that I have a bag of other washers and stuff, so I can get an exact measurement of. It says to put about 30 grams on there, but for me, I want to have the exact measurement. So what I ended up doing is I came up with 30 grams. I mean, right on the nose with this little guy here, little washer, and some other washers. I put them, combined them together to come up with 30 grams exactly. I'm going to put that on one end of my string. Okay, so now that I got everything tied up, again, I'm going to kind of show you my setup here. Hopefully you can see the camera up. So I have my tube over here in the middle, And on both ends, you will see I got the rubber stopper over here nice and tight. And what I did is after I tied it, you can use a fisherman's knot or different knot. Just make sure you use a knot that's going to be, that'll hold it really well. And I didn't put the knot on the end. I put the string on the end so that way it would hold it well. And I put some tension on it, after I tied to make sure it's going to stay. Okay, on this other end here, I'll bring this in a little bit closer. Oh, there we go. We tangle it all up. All right. On the other end, you'll see that I tied my washers, and on the end is the paper clip, and this clip will hold my washers in place. So be careful when you do use if you're going to use different washers or different things to put on here to get, I guess, a more exact measurement. In my case, it's just me. I just wanted to get close to 3 zeros I could. You want to make sure that the washer on the bottom is going to hold on there so it doesn't get lost. And then you go about 20 centimeters up, and you'll tie another clip there, and then you just want to do a test to make sure that the washers aren't going to go anywhere. And that's that. All right, so that's the setup. And then I'm going to probably go ahead and move my experiment into my garage so I have more space to actually spin this thing around. Definitely I would not recommend you doing this inside your house or apartment if there's too many windows or things and objects around. You don't want to get damaged. So I'll be moving this down to the garage to perform some of my experiments. I'll show you some videos on that later. But that's the setup for Lab 5, and that's all I got for right now. Have a great day.